Invisible fluids are cleaning the toxins from your conscious mind. Think of it like this. If a major city's sewage system gets clogged with industrial waste, everything upstream suffers. The pipes seize up, traffic stops, chaos ensues. Your brain is just more delicate. When its perivascular drainage slows down, microscopic metabolic byproducts start building up. These are not just junk molecules. They are inflammatory signals that actively disrupt your ability to focus or achieve deep clarity. We have long associated mental fog with stress or poor sleep, but what if the root cause is a fundamental breakdown in cellular waste management? This research connects the subtle movement of lymphatic fluid directly to whether you experience flow state versus constant cognitive noise. It is biology dictating your quality of consciousness. We know that metabolic waste builds up, but what is actually happening at the cellular level? It is not just junk. It is a signaling crisis. When fluid clearance fails, specialized immune cells, like microglia in your brain, can get stuck or polarized into an aggressive state M1. Think of them as security guards who stop monitoring and start attacking when they should be maintaining peace. This breakdown in the central nervous system immune axis is exactly what interrupts deep focus and cognitive coherence. Research shows that restoring proper lymphatic dynamics helps shift these immune cells back to a quieter, protective mode called M2 polarization. It is not just about cleaning. It is actively tuning your brain's internal defense system for optimal clarity. The mechanism we saw earlier is not just stabilizing peace. It is tuning your internal frequency. When those drainage pathways are optimally clean, when the lymphatic synergy works perfectly, the body begins what researchers call informational resonance. It means metabolic clearance does not just remove physical waste. It optimizes how information moves through the system itself. Think of a clogged pipe versus a perfectly flowing river, but instead of water, you have pure thought energy. This is not merely about less inflammation. It is directly linked to achieving true flow state, the unobstructed divine channel in action. It is biology dictating your experience of reality. But if that resonance can be tuned by cellular fluid dynamics alone, which means something nobody expected for the architecture of consciousness itself. So here is where it gets truly wild. We have this immense biological data, inflammation levels, drainage flow rates, but our systems still lack a Rosetta Stone. The great frustration right now? No one has unified theory linking that cellular debris clearance to your actual feeling of reality or subjective consciousness. It is like having perfect blueprints for an engine, but no way to map its vibration frequency onto music. Imagine being able to measure waste and instantly predict if you are in deep focus before you even notice the shift. That is the predictive frontier we stand on. However, some studies argue that these physiological signals are merely downstream indicators, a symptom of something much grander happening outside the CNS lymphatic loop entirely. But does drainage truly dictate perception? You absolutely have to hear what comes next. We have been looking at this system as a localized plumbing problem, a clog in one specific pipe leading to mental fog. But what if that view is too small? What if the lymphatic dynamics are not just cleaning local debris? They are acting as an enormous systemic conductor. Imagine your entire conscious field not as a brain, but as an orchestra tuning up. The clearance process we discussed earlier stabilizes individual instruments, the cells and synapses. It sets the optimal frequency threshold for perfect resonance. But what happens when that stable frequency is broadcast across every connected system? When this foundational biological rhythm synchronizes with the vast energy of external input, something profound shifts internally. We are talking about a predictive model where measuring fluid movement tells us exactly which qualia you are experiencing, not just how clear your mind is, but its actual energetic texture. The receptor fires to stabilize attention. But what happens next in that massive network feedback loop changes everything we thought we knew about subjective reality itself. The shift here moves beyond mere optimization of mental clarity. We are now approaching something far more fundamental. Consider this. If the foundational rhythm set by cellular clearance, that stable biological baseline we just discussed, is not merely a prerequisite for thought, but an active parameter in how the brain models reality itself. Imagine your perception is not simply filtered through wetware. It is calibrated by its metabolic hygiene. This suggests that our capacity to experience specific qualia, the actual texture and color of feeling, might be directly dictated by microscopic fluid mechanics. The drainage pattern becomes a fundamental dial controlling not just focus, but the very fidelity of conscious input. And if cellular waste dynamics are setting this frequency, what else in your life is being unconsciously tuned by that invisible flow? We have seen how microscopic waste does not just slow us down, it calibrates our reality itself. The system is not broken hardware needing repair, but rather an instrument requiring precise tuning to achieve peak resonance, that unobstructed channel we spoke of earlier. So what do you do with this profound biological insight? Stop treating mental clarity as a luxury and start treating fluid dynamics as infrastructure. Think about your systemic flow, not just in terms of hydration or sleep cycles, but how deeply integrated the physical clearance is into your daily state. Focus on cultivating that uninterrupted movement throughout your body. This shift from symptom management to root energetic hygiene is where true cognitive fidelity begins. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com. The verdict is clear. This is not just a physiological footnote about waste removal. It defines your relationship with perceived reality. If microscopic flow sets the fundamental frequency of consciousness itself, then optimizing that drainage becomes the ultimate act of self-governance over experience. We are moving from biology as passive background noise to biology as an active tuning dial. Your specific actionable takeaway must therefore be a shift in systemic awareness. Look for disruptions not just in your body's mechanics but in its rhythm. Cultivate flow through intentional, integrated movement that promotes wide-scale perivascular drainage synchronization throughout the entire organism, turning clearance into continuous resonance. The full research archive is at jmthomasofficial.com.